In this bulletin, government exploring pathways to revive tourism. COVID hotspot areas in Kandavu identified. And winning the vaccine lottery a blessing for Ringamoto.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Atera Lendua.
Good afternoon, Fiji. The Fijian government, together with relevant stakeholders, are mapping out various pathways that can be explored to revive the tourism industry. This includes the possibility of having chartered flights to countries with higher vaccination rate. Minister for Economy, Aya Said Qayyum, says the opening of the border will be a lifeline to an industry that has suffered greatly due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Said Qayyum says the safety of all citizens during this endeavor remains their top priority.
We need to ensure, to be able to protect our people and protect our industry, that we have a specific reliance in various protocols that they have followed, that we can say, okay, yes, we actually believe that what you have said is, authentic.
The district of Yale, Nakasaleka and Yahweh of Kandavu have been classified as COVID-19 hotspot areas, with over 200 positive cases emanating from these zones in recent days. Health Ministry's Chief Surgeon and female clinical leader in Kandavu, Dr. Chosese Turangaba, says they've picked up over 300 cases so far and the numbers are expected to increase. Dr. Turangaba says the screenings and assessments have been completed in 65 villages and 18 settlements to date. He adds over the past 2 weeks, a good number of villages in Kandavu have voluntarily imposed lockdown protocols, reducing the risk of intermixing between villages.
I think there's a lot of community support, there's a lot of friendship that is noted, and I think which is really nice, because you can see how the people are taking it as their own initiative. The government doesn't have to feed the patients. Each of these is actually being looked after.
Winning the $8,000 vaccine lottery last night is a blessing for 26-year-old Lorraine Ringamoto, who has been staying home for the past few months looking after her firstborn. The new mum has been facing financial constraints as she struggles to provide for her 6-month-old baby girl, as her husband is no longer working. Ringamoto is hoping to budget her winnings to meet her family needs.
I know how hard and difficult. And we sometimes we struggle and we pray, but now I know that God doesn't, let us down.
Over 25 houses in Dhaku village partially get submerged during high tide as a result of rising sea level attributed to climate change. Turanganikoro Uraya Wetimbao says this has been an issue faced by Dhaku villagers despite numerous assistance from the government and other non-government organizations. Wetimbao says the village has 5 floodgates funded by the government and the USAID. However, water continues to enter the village during high tide. He says while seeking assistance from other agencies, they're also working to ensure that children in the village are safe, at the same time learning to adapt to this crisis.
We have been fighting this war since our childhood days until today. You can see that we have seek assistance. We are now burying parts of the villages that needs more soil, so water does not come into the village. The rise in sea level is also affecting our plantation food security, and we had no other choice but to buy more stuff from the market.
The Taliban drew from its inner high echelons to fill top posts in Afghanistan's new government. This including an associate of the Islamist militant movement's founder as premier and a wanted man on a U.S. terrorism list as interior minister. Warning, this report has footage that may be upsetting. To our latest COVID-19 update for today, Fiji recorded 160 new COVID-19 infections for the period ending at 8 a.m. yesterday. 88 cases are from the west and 72 from the central. There are 5 new COVID-19 deaths to report in the past 24-hour period. Fiji has recorded 48,083 cases since April this year. There are now 14,115 active cases with 33,168 recoveries in total. The COVID-19 death toll now stands at 525. The vaccination campaign continues around the country. 568,244, or 96.9% of adults in Fiji have received their first dose of the vaccine, and 306,907, or 52.6%, have been fully vaccinated. The 5 most vaccinated areas include Ba, Rewa, Nandrongai, and Tasiri, all of which are 100% first jabbed. Next is Nandi. Up ahead, Waratahs miss out on the tank. And rule is simple for athletics. Stay with us. Welcome back. Super Rugby side, the Waratahs, were also after the service of Fiji Sevens gold medalist Aseli Tuivuaka. However, the Australian side was a little too late, as the tank had already signed a lucrative one-year deal with Italian club Zebre. The Namosi man says he finalized the terms with Zebre while still in quarantine in Nandi.
By the time I received word for negotiations to join the Waratahs, I was already committed to Zebre. I've always wanted to play in Europe, and I could not let the opportunity slip.
Fijian rugby players in New Zealand will be back in action next week in the National Provincial Championship. This follows the government's approval yesterday. Touch Fiji Federation will be introducing a new competition framework for its elite athletes in the coming year. 2023 will be a big year for Touch Rugby, or Touch Fiji, as it looks to stamp its mark as a regional powerhouse of touch rugby. TFF President Debbie Tamau says to reach this level, they will have to make some changes in how things are done.
One way to enhance the results that we can achieve at the international arena is by trying to replicate the environment that our elite competitors play in. So which means that a 4 to 5 day tournament will be the probably a significant feature of our new calendar year. That's where whereby we'll run our elites. They will play for 4 to 5 days.
Getting its eligible athletes vaccinated is the main objective for Athletics Fiji. The sport has been on a standstill since the second wave of the pandemic began in April, with the only action from Banube Tambukaudhoro's Tokyo Olympic Games outing. Athletics Fiji Vice President Chochilinga says they're planning for return to play, but vaccination may be a problem as most athletes are school students.
We are looking at how we will do this. The major one being getting everybody that's involved in athletics get their doses, get vaccinated, and as government is strongly supporting the no jab, no play policy, athletics likewise would like to encourage all its members to get vaccinated if you want to return and then get back to athletics.
A weak trough of low pressure lies slow moving over the Fiji group. Associated cloud and showers is expected to gradually drift southeastwards and affect parts of the country from later today. That's FBC News Now. Join us again for our 1-hour major bulletin at 7 p.m. And be sure to download the FBC app to access the latest in news, sports and live radio broadcasts from any of our 6 FBC radio stations. You stay safe and have a good afternoon.